Welcome back to the channel, everyone. And of course, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Dark Hour 717. As the channel mainly focuses on Star Citizen, we are also looking to expand into a bit more variety with some tech information as well as PC gear reviews and other varieties of information. As the main focus will still be centered around Star Citizen, we will also have additional content available that everybody will be able to enjoy. I appreciate everyone being here and the support for the channel. And if you like this type of content, please give a like and subscribe to the channel, as it is greatly appreciated. With back to school right around the corner,
I'm going to college.
we see many people preparing, whether it's for college, high school age, or even postgraduate. They're getting ready and looking to get equipment. And as we all know, that the cost of items such as laptops and other peripherals can actually easily skyrocket and build to go way outside of anyone's budget very quickly and easily. Of course, there are some resources to use that you can get a discount on items such as eBay, Amazon Refurbished or Renewed, or even a manufacturer's own refurbished online store. But these can introduce the prospect of private sales where you have no guarantee of the condition or the additional costs that you're going to be paying because the manufacturer is the one doing the refurbishing. And for many, the added cost of going through the manufacturer can break the budget. Recently, as I was looking through TikTok, and yes, I peruse TikTok occasionally, I came across an ad from a seller known as Plug.tech.
So we finally got some more of these MacBooks in for $199. Every other comment, when are y'all getting the MacBooks for $199? So they're finally here and they're going quick. Make sure y'all get y'all one.
Now, I will be the first to admit that you have to actually take any ad that you see on TikTok with a huge grain of salt and a lot of caution. But they were showing refurbished Apple devices, specifically MacBooks, for as low as $199, and which in and of itself is an eye-grabbing price. Other things that they showed, of course, were iPhones, iPads, and AirPods. Curious as to what you would actually be getting for the $199 price point, I decided to take a look at their site. So what is Plug.tech? Well, Plug, if you look at the About page, has been around since 2011. They sell refurbished mobile devices that specialize mainly in Apple and iOS products, but also dabble in the Android realm to a small degree. They offer a variety of MacBooks, iPads, iPhones, and AirPods from several different generations. Within their offerings, they provide a 30-day return policy as well as a 12-month warranty on all of their items, claiming a worry-free certified pre-owned device. As we actually found out looking at their webpage, they operate on a 3-tier condition system for their devices, starting with the eco-friendly description and then moving up to the good and then the excellent. With eco-friendly, they'll have visible scratches and may even have some dents on the exterior. A case can easily cover up most of the imperfections. On the good condition, they're going to have 1 to 2 visible scratches or nicks on the display or frame or back, and they recommend as well putting a case on these devices to cover those up. And then we get into the excellent condition, which is going to look and feel like a brand new device. Like new devices, will have no noticeable scratches on the display or frame and will function as a new device. On the Plug website, they have a link to describe exactly what the certified pre-owned is. And this includes going through a rigorous testing process on all key components, which includes the logic board, the battery, the keyboard, the hard drive, trackpad, and display to ensure that they're in excellent working condition. This also includes proper sanitation, which is very important in this day and age. Now, as I do have a full-time IT position, and though where I work is centered around mostly Windows devices, we do have a small number of Apple MacBooks and a large number of iOS devices in our environment. The growing number of users participating in a BYOD or bring your own device system into our workplace, we are seeing an ever-growing number of MacBooks of all ages. In order to get a little more familiar with these and how they function, I wanted to get something for myself to mess around with so I would be a little better able to answer questions about them. So I ordered a variety of Apple products, a MacBook Air 2017 13-inch, a set of AirPods 3rd Gen, along with a new case for them, as well as, out of curiosity, one of their $200 mystery boxes. Yes, they do carry different levels of mystery boxes, including the $50, $100, and $200 range. Now, be aware, I'm not always a fan of mystery boxes, as usually you do not walk away with the items worth what you paid for it. And I will be upfront, the listings for the mystery boxes really do create a lot of uncertainty. As an example, looking at the graphics versus what they put in the text of the mystery box listings, there are some issues. $50 mystery boxes, the graphics account for 100.3% probability of what you're going to get. And the text below actually accounts for only 97.6% of probability you'll get anything. Now, also the value of the items do not match between the graphics as the text below, such as the iPhone, which is listed as $130 value and a 3.3% chance in the graphics. It is listed in the text below as $190 value and only a 1.3% chance. The AirPods second gen, which are valued at $130 with a 10% chance in the graphics, is listed as a $100 value and a 3.3% chance in the text. The Apple Pen, which is listed in the graphics at a 20% chance of winning, is not even listed in the text below. The $100 mystery box is much more accurate without any major discrepancies, aside from a $1 difference on the value of AirPods second gen from the listing in the $50 mystery box, listing it at only $129 versus $130. Minor, but still a discrepancy. $200 mystery box is similar to the $100 mystery box with a slight math error indicating the value of the iPad 5th gen with second generation AirPods holding a value of $280, though when added together on the previous boxes, their individual value only equals $269. Small, but still a discrepancy, still the same. And it is concerning that with different mystery boxes, which have similar items, they can vary in value from box to box. Condition could possibly explain some of it though, but not all of it, as very little of the descriptions include the condition for the items that you'll get in the mystery boxes, with the exception of the iPad 5th gen 32GB in the $200 mystery box. So this does bring up some concerns. Knowing this though, I opted to place an order and get the $200 mystery box to see what condition and items I would actually receive. The website itself does boast free 2 to 3 day delivery on orders over $50, and as I had ordered on Saturday night, I was fully expecting it to arrive Wednesday. As really, in all fairness, I assumed it meant business days, and in my surprise, I actually received a message early Monday morning the items would actually be arriving on Tuesday. Now, while I was waiting for the items to come, I did a little bit more research into Plug.tech, and I did find the Trustpilot review page, which does have 11 reviews. Now, that's a fairly low number for a company that's been in business since 2011. Though it had a 2.4 satisfaction rating out of 5, I truly think this needs to be taken with a grain of salt, as 3 out of the 11 were questionably written, in my opinion, from a competitor, which I will not name. But the reviews had information on going to a competing site in order to place an order. When I looked at the other site, they had 284 reviews with an almost equally low score. So I really don't trust the Trustpilot reviews that are there for Plug.tech. But on the Better Business Bureau website, they also have a 2-star score here. And though they do maintain an accredited A rating, again, for a business that has been going since 2011, there's a extremely low number of reviews, 10 to be exact, on the Better Business Bureau website, and most are positively resolved between Plug and the customers. But that is less than 1 review per year. All right, so we did get the box from Plug.tech, and it came within about 3 business days, well within the shipping time frame that they had discussed. I ordered it on Saturday, not including Sunday. It took 2 days to get here. What we're going to take a look at first is going to be the $200 mystery box that I ordered. And again, the pricing on the mystery boxes in their graphics and their text in the descriptions, not exactly reinforcing, should we say, as far as what you're getting and what kind of value. But this being the $200 one, it was a little bit more accurate. We're going to take a look and see what we got. The first thing that we actually got is a Plug.tech pop socket. I've never been able to find a real use for these things, not anything that I'm going to use. After that, we see that we got basically, this looks like the second gen AirPods, the manual from Apple in it. And of course, we've got the charging case. It's got a charging cable down there as well too. They are charged up to some degree. And let's take a closer look at those here. The Gen 2, they are the longer, narrower case. We've got a green light there on those, so they are charging. You can never get these stupid things out of here. So that all looks well there. I'm going to grab my iPhone here, and we're going to see how well they pair up. Now, they do pop up on the phone as not my AirPods. All right, and it looks like they've actually connected, so let's see how they sound. Okay, so it shows that the case has a 95% charge and the AirPods themselves have a 100% charge. Okay, so yep, they do work, and actually it reads the battery charge like I mentioned. As far as what they are, they work, and I would say definitely worth the money that we paid for them. And now keep in mind that with the AirPods, again, this is a $200 mystery box. The value was actually with these, it means that we got the iPad 5th gen as well, based on the graphics that we saw. They sell these for as low as $79 in the eco-friendly, and these go for $99 in the excellent condition. These really, looking at them, I saw no marks on the case, no marks on the AirPods themselves, and definitely no sound issues with them. As far as I can tell, these are the excellent condition ones, so that's about $100 value on those. And so far, so good as far as getting the value for what we paid for the box. So they were well cleaned and not any issues with any residue in the tips or anything like that. Of course, we also have a brand new charger for the iPad, which we do have the iPad 5th gen. And we're just going to go ahead and get this set up and see if we can get it set up properly. With the iPad, we've got it set up with my Apple ID, and my Apple Music is downloading, which it shows that it's working. Now, this is a Wi-Fi and cellular. Of course, there's no SIM card, and it's indicating that as far as on the cellular side. It does have the ability, I can go to Verizon. It is a Verizon iPad, and I can easily get a SIM because my account is through Verizon right now. But as far as anything else goes with it, this actually is fully functioning. As far as all of that goes, if we take a look at the iPad itself. All right, so for the most part, it is operational. We've got our Apple Music on there. We're downloading our songs now, and everything seems to be working as it should. And it is fully charged up and good to go. Obviously, no SIM on this. It is a Verizon iPad. I've been able to attach my Apple ID to it. And of course, everything seems to be running. There was a little bit of a delay in touching the passcode to get into it once I actually had it all set up. Other than that, everything else on here is functioning. The Safari browser is working as it should. And the iPad generally seems in good condition. I'm not seeing any marks on the glass, and everything is responsive to the touch. It does feel a little bit raised around the border to where maybe they put a new digitizer on here. I do know that the touch sensitivity is working on the home button. Of course, this is an older one with the home button. The volume buttons and everything are all operational, the power button. One key thing to keep in mind, and this is definitely going to be the same for whatever kind of tech that you're getting, if you're getting it pre-owned, refurbished, or used, and that's the supportability of it. This is actually updated from Plug.tech with iOS 16.5. Now, the 5th generation iPad is fully supported through iOS 16, but when iOS 17 comes out, then it will no longer be supported. This is not going to be acceptable to use on iOS 17. So 16 is as far as it goes. And that's really a key thing to keep in mind when you're buying refurbished or pre-owned technology, is that support is only going to go for so long. And then you have to know that it'll still continue to work, but the support of it is not going to be there from the manufacturer. But overall, we're going to take a look at everything on here. It's pretty good. I mean, I'm not really seeing any flaws, some fingerprints maybe, but those could be mine or those who packaged it. It was packaged in bubble wrap, so it was fairly protected in the box. Again, the boxes inside the shipping box were not really well protected. It would have been nice to see a little bit more wrapping in there to protect the boxes from shifting around. All the apps seem to be on there just fine, no problem. All right, as you can see, the camera is functional there. Of course, we've got the Stack Up Rex, Grogu, and Finley. Pico's back there as well, too. It's exactly what I would expect that it would be on something this age. Now, as far as what they're selling this for on their website, we saw their eco-friendly condition going for as low as $110, I think it was. We'll have to double check on that. And, of course, the higher valued ones were going for about $139. And so between the two things, with the AirPod 2nd gens and this, we did get our $200 value, or at least I would definitely say we got our $200 value, at least for the time being. after iOS 17 comes out, this is probably going to drop in value a decent amount to probably put it below that. But it is completely usable, and I don't see any reason as to why I would be disappointed in the $200 that I spent to check out this mystery box. It's actually in good shape, and definitely I'll be using that one. So the other thing that we had actually ordered was our MacBook Air, and we also got a 3rd gen AirPod that was pre-owned, and that came in a separate box. Again, this box did not have really adequate packing in it. These boxes could easily shift around. These actually 2 boxes stacked on top of each other were too tall for the box to properly close, but nothing was damaged as far as I can tell, and it still arrived here in one piece. Of course, we do have the charging cable for the MacBook Air, and this is pretty much a new one that is one of their brands. We did also get our AirPod 3rd generation, and as well as the case that we had ordered, and we also got our MacBook Air. Now, this came with the sleeve. As far as the case here, this is pretty much just a standard AirPod 3 case. And let's open our AirPods and see what we have. All right, so the case itself actually is in pretty good shape. I'm not really seeing much as far as any scratches or markings on it. Of course, we've got the 2 AirPods on the inside, and these appear to be fairly clean and actually in good shape. So I'm not really seeing much as far as any issue with either one of these. All right, so we lost actually one of the lights here, so we'll have to continue on without it. But as I was mentioning, we were going to try and pair these up. All right, so those are paired up. Now, this shows that actually the left one is at 84% and the right one is at 100%, while the case is at 100%. So we have a little, probably diminished battery life on the left AirPod there. So they're working just as well as the other ones. They do have a little bit more of a comfortable fit, but they are working as they should. Not bad. And these actually do sell for about $139 in the excellent condition. And that's pretty much on par with other used ones that are out there. All right, so let's take a look now at our MacBook. I'm sure as a lot of you guys have seen a lot of things over the summer with different companies that do refurbishing, you know, whether they were actually doing it or not. And as their own website states, they go through the, you know, the motherboard, they go through the keyboard, the trackpad, as well as the memory and everything else. And it looks actually fairly in good condition. Let's see here. So as a MacBook goes, and for what this is, I'm really not seeing much as far as marks. There's a couple of little blemishes, but I wouldn't even call them scratches. At least in the top of it, it looks pretty good. No issues there. Keyboard actually looks good. Trackpad is responsive and clicks when it should. And the monitor itself and the display, there's a couple of little tiny white marks, but that could just be something that needs to be wiped off. Yeah, that's just like dust. Let's look at the underneath. And again, these are actually, I mean, this is actually in really good shape. I'm not really seeing much as any major, as far as any major blemishes. All right, so what I'm interested in is seeing on the inside of it. Let's take a look here. So if you can see here, the fan looks all clean. Not really much that I'm seeing in there that I got worried about. And I don't know if that's a replacement fan or if they just cleaned it. If you put a terabyte in there and it takes it, great. If it doesn't, it's going to max out at the 512. But overall, not really seeing anything of huge or major concern. All right, so let's button it up and let's see how it starts up and performs. All right, and I got myself logged into it. It's up and running, and so far so good. And it looks like it's got all my Apple Music coming down. So we've got all of that on there. All the music is there that should be there. All right, and it pulls up YouTube and everything seems to be working on this. As far as battery life, currently it is showing as 100%. I did charge it up after we came in just so it would be available for us to do this and take a look at it. It looks like everything is good to go though. Of course, we got the MagSafe charger on it, and that does work. This charger, when I actually originally opened it, was brand new. So it actually is a Plug.tech version of the charger for the MacBook. And for the most part, it is a third party, but it worked well. So overall, the MacBook is actually in one piece and is working as it should. Now that we've had a chance to actually take a look at these items, looking at the pricing, as far as that goes with Plug.tech, they do have some decent pricing. Though is it far below anything else out there that is comparable? Not really. Most of the items that I got were right at the same market price as going through other refurbishing companies like Rebello, Amazon Renewed, or Refurbished, or even Walmart. The second gen AirPods that were $79 with Plug at their eco-friendly level, we found equivalents starting at around $73 and found matching equivalents with Plug's good and excellent level of condition. The same can be said of the third gen AirPods as well. We found the exact same thing as well with the iPad 5th gen, 32 gigabytes with Wi-Fi and cellular. The MacBook Air with 128 gigabytes of storage had a wider range of prices, though most fell right within the same range and area as Plug's $270 eco-friendly price. And we did find some below $250, though condition could not be verified as equal. And we did find a variety of higher prices than Plug's $310 excellent condition MacBook Airs. So price, they are right in the thick with most other refurbishers. Where they do have a leg up is shipping with their free 2 to 3 day shipping time for in-stock items, and this was better than most other resellers, most requiring up to a week. And as for the mystery boxes, I would say though that the value the listing states you are definitely receiving, but it's very loose on their interpretation of it. I will say you at least get the value for what you paid to receive the box. And I would say that goes for all three levels. The listing for these I feel really do need attention though, and better attention to detail to represent the items and the odds that you're actually going to receive and what items. One big takeaway I mentioned is to keep in mind the supportability or end of life of these devices. The $199 MacBook you see advertised as a 2015 11-inch, and the one I ordered was a 2017 13-inch. The support for the 2015 MacBook was over back in 2021, or maybe even been stretched out to 2022. And the MacBook Air 2017 stopped with OS Monterey and was not able to be updated to OS Ventura. And as of OS Sonoma, all 2017 models are no longer going to be supported. The same is with the iPad 5th generation, that support ends once iOS 17 is released. Again, it does not mean that they're useless paperweights. It just means that Apple is no longer going to support or allow newer features onto these devices or security updates. Now, this is not an issue that only affects Plug.tech, as it will affect all the refurbishers out there. And I had the benefit of actually being aware going in buying these items and knowing that they were no longer going to be supported, but many consumers may not be able to have that forethought. This pretty much falls under the buyer beware moniker, as no reseller posts the last dates an item will be supported by their manufacturer. They just place it out there at what is hopefully a reasonable price and will sell. Now, in conclusion, is Plug.tech legit? I would say so. Do they offer something outside of what other refurbishers do? I would honestly say no. But that's not exactly negative. It means that they hit all of the expectations for refurbished items. I will say that the items I received met all of my expectations. Of course, they were cleaned inside and out, and being properly refurbished, they actually excelled in that category. There was no residue or dust present in the fan or anywhere on the motherboard or inside the case, and all the AirPods were thoroughly cleaned and in excellent condition and working. and the iPad also was in excellent shape as well. So I will say they knocked it out of the park in that category. Now, shipping was also good, not including the lack of packing materials that was inside the box. They hit the mark in product, price, and condition, and I will say my experience with them has been a positive one aside from the mystery box discrepancies on the website. So overall, I hope that you found this very useful for those of you that are out shopping around for back to school items and such. Please feel free to leave me a comment below if you've had any experience with Plug.tech. I would definitely love to hear if your experience is any different than mine and how it compares. And don't forget that if you do enjoy this content, hit that like and subscribe button. I want to say thank you to all of you that stopped in, and we will see you next time.